I'm Paige.
I'm Crazy.
And this is the Creative as a Mother podcast,
Bringing the shit show to you.
On today's episode of our Badass Mom Series, we have Dawn Jarvis from Dawn Photo coming to hang with us. We're so excited to dive into motherhood with her and hope you are too.
Hi! Oh my gosh, I can hear her. Can you hear us?
Yeah?
Okay.
We've been having issues. We're obviously trying to figure this all out.
Okay.
But I think we finally figured it out.
Yes.
I'm like loving that you guys are together. I thought it'd be like a three-way call or something.
No, we are here together.
That's awesome. That's so fun.
Thanks for doing this. We're so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous.
Okay, same.
We're nervous.
Very nervous.
Have you done a podcast before?
Yeah, I've done a lot, but I've never
Yeah.
done one like about like the kids or anything. That's so different. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we all
great.
got this. We're good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm like I'm gonna need to drink my coffee. I'll be ready.
I love that
You're making me feel a little better.
So
that
much
you're
better.
nervous too, though.
You guys are the ones who do this. I never do podcasts. Like I do them like a couple times a year.
This is our
Fourth
fourth episode.
Hmm. That's awesome. When did you guys start it?
Well, we started, I feel like at the end of summer, we like started putting it together and then just life happened. So
Yeah,
that was the beginning of summer.
Yeah. This is like we're like actually putting out consecutive episodes now, like
Yeah.
sticking with it. So
It's so fun. Get it,
Yeah.
girls. That's awesome.
we're trying. We'll
Yeah,
see.
Trying very hard.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can just start. If you just want to introduce yourself,
Yeah.
tell us who you are and about yourself.
And your family and
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
And all the things. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm Dawn Jarvis with Dawn Photo. I'm an elopement and portrait photographer based out of Oregon. I have two little boys. They're 2.5 and officially now 9 months, which is so wild. And I have a husband, and he's also actually a stay-at-home dad. And yeah, it's awesome. They're all upstairs playing, hopefully very quietly for the next while.
Right. We'll see. Okay, I did not know your husband was a stay-at-home dad.
Me either.
Yeah, when Revan turned 3 months old, like he's also a high school football coach and track coach for the high school he went to, the town we live in, and it's really sweet and he loves it. He's been coaching for like over 10 years. But at the time he was also working like maintenance for the school, like just like outside maintenance, like all the yard stuff, all the fixings, the cleanups and stuff. And about like 3 months into like Revan being born, I didn't love our sitter. First off, she was super lazy with him, and I did not like that, even though he was only 3 months old. But I just felt like she was lazy. But that was like really hard for me. And then I was like, I need someone to like be more active and playing with him. And then my husband was like having just not the best time at work. He was like just button heads, not loving it. And he's like, I just don't want to do this anymore. Like I was like, just come be here, like be with the kids, like or be with Revan, like be with us. He's like, can we do it? I was like, do it, quit right now, go. And he's like, okay. And he's like, run the numbers. I was like, I don't need to. Go quit. Like, do it.
Aww.
And yeah, he went and quit his job that day. 2 weeks later, he was home with us, and it was awesome.
That's
Been here ever
amazing.
since.
You're gonna get so sick of me saying this, but I feel like I talk about it every single episode. Every single time somebody brings like a situation like this up, I like want to cry. It makes me so excited. We own an auto repair, and we opened it in the middle of the pandemic, and my husband literally quit his job in the middle of the pandemic and was like, I'm gonna work out of the garage for the rest of the summer. And he did, and like made more money than he was making every month at like his actual job. And then we renovated a building in the middle of the pandemic and opened in January of 2021, and it's like changed our family life because he's home more and like the kids hang out at the shop. Yeah, like it's amazing. And it's like, I don't know, it's so cool to hear like that kind of like do or die, we're just gonna do it, rip off the band-aid and like radically change our life. It's so cool to hear that be part of people's stories, and that just made me so excited. And then I
love that. It's like literally so wild too, because like we've always joked that he'd be the stay-at-home dad because like that's just not my personality. Like I literally can't do it.
Yeah.
He'll be gone for 1 day for football, and I'm like, I can't single parent. I have to co-parent. Like I cannot do it. I'm very much like a playful, cuddly yes mom. Like I can do that, but like I can't do it all day with myself. I don't know what's wrong with me. That's not my thing, and I need to just be okay with that and not compare myself to other moms. But it's so hard. And whenever he leaves, I'm like, can we get the sitter to come help me? Because I can't do this.
It's a
It's so
lot,
hard.
especially when they're so, how old are your kids again? You said
2 and a half and
9 months.
then 9 months.
Yeah,
Those are
they're
Yeah.
hard
so
ages.
like, they're needy
So
still at that
needy.
age.
They're
Like,
so
it's,
Revan's potty training, Caden's popping 4 top teeth and crawling, well, almost crawling, and it's just a lot.
yeah.
Potty training is my least favorite parenting milestone. I hate it.
The undies are cute. I will say I don't think I've ever think my son is as cute as he is until he put undies on. I was like, I always thought he was like the cutest thing in the world. He put bluey undies on. I'm like, you just went like to the next level of cute. Like those buns and those little undies, like they're so cute.
It is the cutest thing. My son, so I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and we just got through the potty training thing. Like he's officially not in diapers. He's actually not even wearing pull-ups at night anymore.
Axel!
I know, it's a big deal. But yeah, the little undies on them is
They're
the
very
cutest
cute.
thing in the world.
I
They're so
love
cute.
that. Oh, that makes me so happy. Also, our kids are like the same age gap. That's so fun.
Yeah,
That's a hard one.
Yes, it is. My daughter is the feisty, well, I don't know, you got a feisty one too, but so feisty, like she's like a little sour patch. Like she's either the happiest thing ever or like the end of the world.
Wait, she's a
Like,
3-year-old?
she's the 1-year-old.
Starting
I
early. Your
I
girl.
know, yeah. So like my 3-year-old, he was the easiest, chillest, go with the flow kid. So that's why I was like, we got this, having another kid. And then my daughter was born, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing.
And then
Yeah.
are you expecting?
Yeah.
Oh my
It's,
god.
it is my 5th baby.
5th?
Yeah. So,
Wow.
my oldest is 8, and
Oh my
then him and my second are 16 months apart. So she
Okay.
turns 7 in November. And then we have a 4-year-old who she is my like absolute feisty one. She kicked a nurse at the doctor's this morning after
You
her
know?
shots, just like kicked the nurse. It was
I
great.
probably would have too. Like,
Yeah.
Right?
And then our 4th is 2.
Oh my God.
And so my oldest is our only boy, and then we have 3 girls. And we were so done, like so done. The minute I got pregnant with my 4th, I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, do not want to do this again. Don't want to give birth to the baby that is in my belly. Do not want to do this. We're done. So my husband dragged his feet on scheduling his vasectomy, finally scheduled it. He got snipped on St. Patrick's Day this year, and we found out 6 days before that I was pregnant again. So
Why is that so common?
I
know.
don't even know, but it was yeah, so I'm due the day before my 6-year-old turns 7. And
That's so fun.
And
Wait, when
yeah.
do you do?
November 8th.
Oh my, so soon. Oh my
I know.
gosh.
Yeah. Yep.
You're just, do you know if you're having a girl, boy?
No,
Are you
we
saying?
don't
Ooh, fun.
know.
That's awesome. I love
Yes,
that. That's
but
awesome.
I'm telling everybody it's probably a girl because I just keep making them on
I
like
think you're having a
rapid
boy.
repeat. Everybody
I think you're
hopes
having a
so.
boy.
My oldest told
Yeah.
me he was gonna move out if we had another sister. So
Better start packing his bags.
yeah, there's a lot of
There
emotions
is.
and hormones at my
He's
house.
gonna be the best big brother though. Like he's
He's
gonna
so
treat
good.
him with so much respect. That boy
Right?
knows.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Oh, it's
Love it.
good.
That's
Yes.
It's so funny.
Yep.
That's so fun. I
That's
love
my
it.
house. And you are 100% normal for wanting to pull your hair out the minute you're alone with your kids, because I
Yep.
am home with mine, and literally like I think I drop F-bombs to myself all day long. I yell way more than I would like, and it's just like they're just so loud
Yeah.
and chaotic, and
It's
it's
like I feel like
insane.
my friend group who's not in like the creative entrepreneur world, they're all like stay-at-home moms and they love it. It's like their ride or die. They would never do anything but it. Like they would dreamed of this. And the second I'm with my kids, I'm like, I have like a business idea. And I'm like, I just want to get on
Yep.
my phone or my computer. I'm like, no, stay focused, enjoy this. Because as soon as I'm behind my computer, I'm like, I miss the kids, or I'm on my
Yeah.
trips, like we're shooting elopements, and I'm like, I miss my kids. I'm sobbing. I'm like sobbing all the way showing up to a wedding. And then I like clean up my face, go shoot a wedding. I'm like ready to go. And then I sob all the way home, driving 7 hours back home so I can just see them when they wake up.
Yeah.
And then when I'm with them, I'm like, all I want to do is work. I'm like, what is this? Like, what
Yep.
is
It's the
happening?
weirdest feeling.
It's yeah, it is. It's
We're
it's
the
weird.
same. Like, I think I kind of always pictured myself as a stay-at-home mom, but I'm also like crazy independent. Like, have never wanted to depend on anyone else to like live. So I'm
Yeah.
like in that weird, I kind of in the same thing, like when I'm with the kids thinking about work and vice versa. And it's,
We were just talking about this too because I'm in weekly therapy and
Okay.
um I just told Frankie that I think I want to find a new therapist because my therapist made me mad last week because she was like, you need to find a babysitter that like for when the baby comes that can like come play with the 2-year-old for a couple hours every day and like help with bedtime and help with activities after school, like help with the running around. And in my head I'm like, I don't, first of all, who am I gonna find to do that? Like in the middle of an afternoon on a
yeah,
weekday that doesn't have like an actual job that they need to like survive.
High schooler.
And right, that's the
yeah,
idea.
yeah,
And I don't know, like I would feel so much better delegating that to like my husband. I don't want to delegate. I don't want to co-parent with somebody else. I want to co-parent with my husband.
yeah,
So I don't know. So like I'm like I need help, but like also I don't want help. I don't know. I'm weird.
It's so weird. Okay, so we have that. So like my husband's gone every afternoon for sports, right? To coach. And so that's typically when I'm leaving for a session, if it's a local thing, or I'm like gone for a trip, or I'm like fully behind the computer working. And so we had to find a babysitter who could like come every afternoon, who didn't need full-time hours. So we had to do a lot of like the high school, which is like where we really struggle because we have gotten like one incredible high schooler who is like an anomaly. Like I don't understand. She's like a family member to us now. We love
yeah,
her, but she gets busy. And so we like lose her for a couple months and then she comes back, right? But we have other people who kind of fill in and they like their phones more than our kids. And that's a problem for us. Like, I
yeah,
get it. Like, you're making $20 an hour sitting on the couch with kids. Like, win. Like, hell yeah. But get off your phones. Like, I'm sorry.
Right.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
There's only so many ways you can say that nicely before you're like, and you're out of my house. Like, get out. Like,
yeah, yeah,
it's so hard, but like it's weird because when they are here and I'm home, I'm in my office like listening to them play and it's
yeah,
really weird being like I could just be out there with my computer, but that also is not possible really either. But then I
right.
feel really weird that I'm like here when someone else that's not my husband is with. It's so weird. I don't love it
Yeah.
either.
Yes.
That's how I feel. Even if we don't have babysitters, I normally just have like my mom hang with the kids if I need it,
That's nice.
which I'm really lucky for that. But it
Yeah.
is the same thing. Like if I'm upstairs, like I lock myself in the bedroom and try and work, like I can hear the kids still, and I'm like, or like I hear them say they want to go to the park or whatever. I'm like, I'm home. Why am I?
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's so bizarre. I don't love it. It's a really hard fine line. I feel like I've like really had to struggle, like learn that like I have like my office hours and it's okay to be in here. Like, cause
Yeah.
what I'm doing, I'm providing. So like I know that like I'm the one who has to be in here, has to be working, has to be focused. So like I've learned that I've had to like come into my office like fully ready for work, like get dressed, do my makeup, do the whole thing, put in my canceling AirPod things, what your whatever noise things, and
Yeah.
like fully get in. But if I hear my kids laugh or cry, it's done. I'm done. Like I walk out. I'm like, I want to hear what they're doing, or I
Yeah.
want to like fix what's sad, you know? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's so hard.
It
It
is.
is hard. The crying is the worst.
I know. Yeah. The crying
tough.
is like
Well,
instantly.
it's like hard too with my husband because as a stay-at-home dad and a prideful man, like when the kids are crying, I immediately as a mama like want to go help. Like and
Yeah.
I'm so a type 2, so like I'm a helper, like that's my thing. I like acts of service is my love language, like I cannot help it. And I'll like run up, I'm like, do you need help? He's like, no, I got this. Like
Yeah.
I can do this. The kids can cry when they're with me. I can also fix it. You need to stay in your office. He's like, when you come out, it makes me feel like I'm not doing my job right. And my job
Yeah.
is now the babysitter, basically, you know? So like
Right.
he's like, I need to be the one that's like taking care of them, and you're the one who needs to be making the money. So like, don't come and rescue us every single time they cry. And that's
Yeah.
something I've had to practice so hard. I'm like, okay, if they're crying for more than 10 minutes, then I go. Or I just go yell upstairs. I'm like, do you need anything? And he's like, no. I'm like, okay, go back to your office. It's okay. It's okay. It's so hard.
I feel like it's just something like in like being a mom, like learning how to shut that off somehow. Like
Or,
you,
I don't know, turn it down. I don't
yeah, I was
know.
gonna say you
Turn
can
it
turn it
down.
off. Yeah.
It's so hard. I get like a gut, like yicky feeling. I'm like, the kids are crying. Like, I'll start like sweating,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
"Okay, no, just turn up your music on your phone, fully dive in. Like, what were you doing that like some makes it so that you can pay for something that we can go do something later? Like,
Right,
fix it later.
right.
Like, we'll go to the zoo. We'll go see a movie. Like, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
how can I make money to fix this later?
Right, yep, yep.
Yes.
We've all been there
Yep.
every day.
Every single day.
Every day.
Great. Okay, well, that kind of answers like our next question because we were, well, I was wondering how, well, whatever. We were wondering how motherhood has impacted like your business and your travel, but you guys have such a good like situation that you were like able to do right from the jump. Like that's so great.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, yes, I'm able to travel because I can rely on my husband to be here with them, but like this year alone, like we had a sitter lined up to take care of like football season for us so that like she'd be here every day after school watching the boys. And within days, we were like, we don't trust her alone with our children. Like because it was only working when I was home, and then like we just did not trust it. And I was like, there's nobody. We don't have any family that we're okay with watching our children for
Yeah.
any extended. My mom is the only one that we feel comfortable watching them for even like a couple of hours if we have to leave, and we don't leave like out of town. Like we leave like to run errands or something that we can't do with the kids.
Yeah.
But we don't have family who's able to help us or that we trust. And our friends are busy. They all have their own kids, you know? And so we have to hire sitters. And we luckily found someone new on care.com. But if it weren't for her, Dusty was gonna have to quit football this year, like mid-season. Like he was just gonna have to quit because
No.
which was so hard. And like it was really hard for both of us because I was like, this is a decision that you have to make. Like, I'm not going to tell you that you have to quit, but like, that was so hard. And it was like a couple of weeks of us just like going like button heads because I was like, you have to quit your passion for our kids and then you can try
Yeah.
again another time when we can do this. Like, maybe it just isn't the season of life where you get to have that and, you know, be at home with the kids. But we luckily found somebody, but it was really stressful. And like, things like that happen a lot with like when I have to leave for a trip that's like multiple days. I'm like, you're going to have to figure out childcare. Like if the sitters can't come, like you're either taking them or you're not going to practice that day or you're not
Yeah.
getting a break. Like, cause he doesn't get a break at all. Like when I go on my like 3 or 4 day trips, he gets no break because he's up with Caden all night when he needs bottles in the night or teeth are hurting. Revan pooped in his diaper and he's upset about it because he's trying to potty train. You know, like he's up all night with them when I'm out of town. And then he is with them all day, goes to coach, which is not really me time. You're still working.
Yep.
And then you're home and you're with him again. So it's like, it's hard for him too. Like we definitely like, it's not an easy balance, but we're making it work because we know how worth it is. But it's
Yeah.
hard.
It's nice you guys seem like very much so on the same page though with
Yes.
like
Yeah.
making it work for each other, and
Yeah.
that's cool.
I'm trying to be better about like giving him days off where like he can just go. Like he went to a duck game or like a football game a few weeks ago, and like that was like or like 2 weeks ago, and then he was gone like most of the day, and it was super fun for him. And like I tried not to like text him like anything like when do you think you're gonna be home? Like I was like, don't do that because when I get to have a day off, like he doesn't do that to me. So I'm like, don't ask him. I'm just like, just deal with it. You're good. It's gonna be
Yeah.
fine. Like you know, and things like that. But we try to like make it fun. Like if he doesn't have like a sports conflict, like and I'm going on a trip, we'll try to bring the babies. Like I took them to Alaska this year. I took them to Idaho and Olympic National Park, and it was really fun. So we try to make it like where my job gets to also like bring them joy too, besides
Yeah.
just like financially supporting them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I feel like that kind of goes into what I was going to ask, just about like with traveling, how did that work once you guys had kids? Because you were already traveling a lot before kids, right?
Yeah.
So how did you guys find that balance? Like, do you take your family with you guys a lot, or it's still just
They honestly don't love it. Like
Yeah.
unless like,
Really?
Alaska was great because I only had one session. We went for 5 days. So like literally, and I brought them to the session because I was like, we're just going to a lake, so you can like, I'll just strap on Kate and like wear him in like the thing front pack. He was only like 5 months old, so he wasn't that big yet either.
Yeah.
And then Dusty and Revan just played with the rocks and threw rocks in the lake and just had fun for like an hour. But the rest of the trip was like focus on them, and like that was the plan. But like Idaho, I taught 2 back-to-back workshops. I had a photo shoot hours and hours away with no service. Revan got an ear infection, had to go to the ER at midnight when I got back from the shoe. I had to teach a workshop in Idaho with a bunch of people I didn't really know, with Caden with me because Revan was still in so much pain. I was like, I'll take the other one, like with no sleep. Like it was wild. Like it was so hard. And like he's like, after that trip, he's like, unless you have a trip where like you have so giant time gaps, he's like, we're not going anymore. Cause like, he's like, you took the only rental car we had. I was stuck in a hotel with the kids screaming. And he's like, we didn't have our normal toys. We didn't have anything to do. And he's like, I'm not doing that anymore, which is so valid. So like now if I plan trips for like a photo shoot or whatever, and I'm like, hey, this time of the year. Do you want to come? Because if you do, I'm going to block off like 4 days and I'm just going to work for one of them and we're going to have fun for 3 of them, you know?
Yeah.
But he's like, unless we do it that way, he's like, no, like not going.
Yeah, I feel like that would be really stressful. I feel like people in this industry are not, I feel like they would think that being able to like take your kids on trips and stuff, like it would be fun and easy, like you get to travel the world with your family or whatever, and it's obviously not always the case.
It's not, and I think it's okay to just be ready for the chaos too, but, like, also just remembering, like, when you were going out and shooting all these epic things and getting to experience all these fun things, like, if your kids, first off, aren't even old enough to really go do a lot of that, like, safely with you, like,
Hmm.
I couldn't have taken them to this, like, out country back place with, like, no service because it was, like, the most insane, like, weather and, like, thunderstorms, and I was like, they would've just been in the car the whole time and,
Yeah.
like, miserable. So I'm like, I'm just like, I have to like really think about all of those factors. But I feel like my clients always ask me that too, like, oh my gosh, you're going on all these cool trips. Does your family get to go? I'm like, no, they stay at home. Like, we're comfortable and fun. And we have a cute little park behind our house, and the dogs are here. Like,
Yep.
they're so much more happy here. And like, he's got his car. He can go take him to like visit other parents with kids and go to like dance class and gymnastics. And I can just go work, focus on work, and come back and play, you know?
Yeah.
But we try to make it fun, like a couple times a year, like go together and do fun things.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool. I like it. I'm just thinking about like, I don't know. I'm still hung up on the like being stuck. I don't like being stuck. I
Yeah.
would cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a trooper because I would have.
Oh, he
I would
cried.
have did he? I would have fallen apart.
Yeah. I texted him when I finally got service, and that was like the Idaho trip when I was shooting out like in the middle of nowhere desert, and I was like coming back. I was getting done really late because I was just having such a good time with the couple. I was like, I'm not gonna like end the shoot, you know, it's just so
Hmm.
fun. And I was like driving back, I got service finally, and I was like, hey, I'm heading back. I'm like an hour or so away. He goes, all he says is hurry up. I was like,
Oh,
like, what is happening? He goes, I'm not gonna tell you till you get here, because he knew I would panic. Get
Yeah.
there, walk in the room. He's like, put your stuff down, get like change. We're going to the hospital. I was like, what? Like, what?
My
And he's like,
God.
I don't even want to talk. I just want to get in the car. We need to find a hospital right now. Revan's in so much pain. I was like, oh my God. So I'm like crying, freaking out. I'm like, what's happening? What happened? Like,
Yeah.
and so like I just like now I'm like, okay, if we do any sort of thing like that, like I need to ride with a client or like figure something out where he has a car, because like that's not safe either for like him to be stuck in a hotel. Like, what's he gonna Uber with no car seats to a
Right.
hospital?
but it's not something that I would have thought
No.
about.
No, totally. Like you never think anything's gonna happen. Like,
No.
but it sure did. It was just an ear infection. It wasn't like a huge deal. He was just, you know, obviously in pain, but like he was
Yeah.
fine, obviously.
Yeah.
But like that was our first ear infection ever with the kids. So like to us, it was like the world was ending, you know,
Yeah.
like our kid is screaming in pain. But I don't know. It's just there's so many times where now, like since that trip, like if I am booking at something, I'm like, okay, you're coming. I have 2 photo shoots. We're gonna go longer this time. And this Airbnb is really fun. It has a big playground. There's like horses in the neighborhood next door, so you can go pet. Like there's stuff for you to do. Like,
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, okay, well, between the travel and the parenting and just all of that, how do you deal with like seasons of burnout? I'm sure it has to hit. How do you deal with that?
honestly, I'm definitely burned out all the time. But I kind of this
They're
is
my
so bad. I
friend.
kind of love it. Like I kind of love that I work hard enough to get to that point. In
Yeah.
a sense, like I love being an entrepreneur. I love working freaking really hard. It's one of my favorite things ever. It's something I'm really proud of, like how hard I work. But I also have a team that like helps me. Like I don't do it all by myself. Like I could not do it without a team that helps me. But I just like doing like for fun photo shoots. Like I like being inspired by new locations and like doing a lot of like my own like I guess styled shoots or content shoots or whatever.
Mhm.
I feel like that has made the biggest difference because I can go off and do my own shoot and just be really creative and like know what that is going to help towards. Like what about that shoot is going to benefit my family and like my business later, and like how is this like going to help us? And I don't know, it just makes me feel better about what I'm doing. But it's also hard because those are typically my days off, and so I'm like giving them back to work instead of being with the family. So I have to be very also strategic about that because I don't
Yeah.
want to miss out on too much.
Yeah.
I had something to say.
I'm
I'm
like,
sorry.
you look like you
It
were
was
gonna say
because it was
something.
there and then it
Rain
just
girl.
I know.
it left me as soon as it came and then it went like that.
I know you and I are we're the perfect pair for this, but
We
not really
are.
because you're pregnant. I'm so sleep deprived. My 1-year-old is not sleeping at all. Like she's sleeping like a newborn. So both of us sometimes will just be like,
It was
I
there.
love
zoned
that.
out. So
Yeah.
Our bottle maker, my friend gave us like one of those like baby Brezza bottle
Yeah.
makers. Genius. The coolest thing invention ever, because I don't do the breastfeeding thing. Like that's not for me.
Yeah.
But it broke the other night. So these midnight bottles, we have to go like make them with like fine hot water, and our hot water takes like 600 years to start in this house. So I was like, cool. So when he needs a bottle at 1 a.m, it's not like a 2-second button. It's like
Yeah.
running the fucking sink for half an hour.
And does he get mad? Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So when we're both awake. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
yeah.
That sucks so bad. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that sounds miserable.
And it's like you don't even know how, like, I don't know, you don't like appreciate how like efficient things are until they're
Oh, yeah.
breaking, and then it's like, okay, what the hell?
Yeah, you're like, what was I doing?
literally told my husband, I was like, Caden only needs bottles for like 3 more months. I was like, we're getting another one. Like,
I can't do this.
I can't do this. I was like, or we're putting like a kettle, like a tea kettle up there to like run the hot water faster. Like,
Yeah.
those like
Something.
plug-in tea kettles.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That is a really good idea.
That's what my mom does whenever we visit her. She like does that in like her little guest suite. It's like always like the little tea kettle,
Aw.
so we're not like packing a baby Brezzo. Like,
Yeah.
I feel so bougie.
Yeah, do you take that on your trips?
We should though. Yeah, anymore. We broke it.
There's gotta be like a portable one,
There's,
right?
if not, you should tap into that because that would make a lot of money.
Dude, I know they make like bottle warmers, but they're like the
Okay.
little ones. I think they might work. I guess, yeah. I always thought they were just for like breast milk, but I guess you could make a cold bottle and heat it up in that too.
Yeah.
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 That's so funny. We're like entrepreneurs. Like,
I
what
know.
else is that?
Where can we go with this?
Yes, every time, all the time. Oh my
But I
goodness.
guess too, with like when you were saying like the burnout thing, I guess like I kind of answer more back with like a work burnout, but as like a personal burnout, like whenever I feel like just like exhausted with work and I just need to like be with the kids, like it's so fun. Revan has like dance class once a week and gymnastics once a week, and it is probably like the highlight of my week to go and just like sit and watch as like Dusty dances and does gymnastics with him, and I'll always like stay back and hold Caden, and like it is the best part of my week, hands down. Like it's so fun to watch him like every week get better at either class, and like he can do more, and he'll like finish something and he goes, I did it, and we're like, did it, and like that is like as a parent like the funnest feeling. So like that kind
Yeah.
of stuff I just love.
Oh.
My oldest 3 are in gymnastics on Tuesday nights, and I have it scheduled so that they're all like 2 start at the same time and the other one starts like 15 minutes later.
Oh yeah,
And so that we're like minimizing our time actually being there.
driving back and forth and being there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But my oldest is in like a ninja warrior type class, and then the girls are in
Yeah.
gymnastics. But I am not doing a gymnastics. My youngest is like would have to do like the parent and me
Yep.
class. So I'm not doing that right now because I'm too pregnant. But and it is like so she normally stays home with my husband, but it's like my favorite thing to watch the dads, because it's mostly moms, but then there's occasionally like some dads in there,
Yep.
and to watch the parent taught class that is going on at the same time as them while these dads are just like hyping their kids up. Because the moms, I love us, but we're usually like, I don't know, dads have so much more energy.
Yeah.
And like, so the moms are like usually tired, and you can tell that like they're like, okay, is it done yet? And the
Mhm.
dads are just like so amped and like
yeah.
there, and I love watching them every week. It's so funny.
I also feel like, and this is the reason why I don't actually do the class with Revan. I don't think this is so bad. I don't mean this in a bad way. I don't think he's as capable of doing things as my husband is with him. So like when they're climbing a ladder, I would want to help him. Like, cause I'm like
Yeah.
naturally like, I want to help you, buddy.
Yep.
Like, whereas Dusty's like, he can do this by himself. And I'm like, he can't? You sure? He's gonna fall. He's like, no, he can do it. It's like when I did the class, there was one day where he's like, you do it with him. Like, this is good for you guys. Oh, I was like babying him like hardcore. And he's like,
Yes.
stop. Like, you watch me do this. And Revan did everything by himself. And I'm like, you're amazing, buddy. Like, I'm so
Right.
proud of you.
That's
My
like,
kids are way more ballsy with my husband than they are with me. Like way
Yeah.
more ballsy.
see, I was gonna say, yeah, Axel's probably more ballsy like with Jake, but like in a class, I think my husband is the other way around. Like I'm more
I
like,
love
okay,
that.
let him do it. Like he's
Let
got
him
it, and he's like, can he jump off of that? Like, can he? I'm like, yeah, he's
That's
fine.
awesome,
Like,
though.
but not at home. He's not like that. He's throwing him around and stuff.
Oh. Grabbing the couch pillows and just chucking
Oh
the
my
kid
God,
up. Yeah,
yes.
it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten a lot better, especially like when we're around like our other friends and their kids. Like, because they'll like maybe like hover parent a little more with their kids. And I'm like, oh, if Revan can do this, like your kids can definitely do this. Like
Right.
they're older maybe or something. And I'm always like so amazed at like just how every parent like sees how much their kid can do. Like there's a brand new park in our town yesterday, and like everybody everywhere was at this brand new park because it was the coolest new park thing. And it was so cool to see like what kids could do what and what ages can do like the big kid play structure with the ropes and the things. And I'm like, there's no way Revan can do that. Freaking climbs to the top of this like rope wall thing. I'm like, what?
Like, what?
It like flips sideways too. And I'm like, how are you? Like, and I'm so proud. And it's like, I don't know, stuff like that is so like fun as a parent to like see like those moments of like him just like kind of like overcoming something. And like, I don't know, it's just so fun like as a parent to see that kind of stuff. It's also like weird because I'm like, you were literally just in a high chair eating mushy baby food and now you're sideways climbing rope walls at a big kid park. Like that's not possible.
I
That's not
know. When does it happen?
I don't know. My 8-year-old calls me bro. No, sorry, it's not even bro. It's bruh.
Bro.
And I'm like, dude, like, who are
Oh my
you?
God.
My husband and I went on date night last night, and I came downstairs like after getting like all dolled up, and he goes, "Mama, cute." I was
Oh my God.
like, when did you do that? When did you learn that? I was like literally like, oh my God, can I get this on video? And then he's like, Spider-Man. I'm like,
Thanks.
of course. He's like, web shooters. Like
Complete opposite.
Oh.
literally, I'm like, this one time you were being so cute, and I tried to get it on video.
No, that's so funny.
That is really
It-
funny.
That always makes me so emotional anytime like my son, like, Mama, you're so pretty. Like if he says something like that, I'm like, oh my God.
And it's usually when I look the most disgusting, I feel
I
like.
know.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, did you just know I needed to hear that right now?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my
Yeah.
God. So
oh,
sweet. I love
those
that.
kids.
Well, okay, so you mentioned your team. Can you
Mhm.
talk to us about that? What are you using them for? What are you outsourcing? Like, how
Yeah.
does that benefit you? And how did you even make the decision to like
To
start
do it.
out?
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you rip off
Um,
that Band-Aid?
It's really hard because I feel like I don't know how you guys are, but like I feel like I need full control over everything with my business. Like I'm absolutely terrified to like hand anything off. I
Mhm.
have had VAs in the past like help with like emails and sending contracts out, and I always end up firing them because I don't like what they're doing and I don't like how they're doing it. That's a very personal thing. It's like
Yeah.
the written like typed out word between you and your future client and like or your client that you booked is like a very big deal, I feel like. And so I can't do that. I've decided that that is not for me. A VA is not for me. But I was like, I need someone to help me with other stuff. So I have my online education. It's called Basecamp. It's like my subscription education for photographers. And I was coming out with the courses by myself. I was doing all this stuff. And I was like, this is so much work. Like writing out a whole outline for a course, making sure it has everything in depth that I need, and then filming it, editing it, launching it, the headline, the description, and then all the like launch posts, right? For each and every course, every single month. I was like, this is a lot of work. And I saw another photographer who does like a similar like business model. And she was like, oh yeah, like my team does all of that except for the recording. And I was like, wait, what? People do this? She's like, yeah, they're like my marketing team. They tell me what courses that should come out that people are wanting. They write the whole outline. They write everything that I should basically talk about. But then like, obviously she does all the part that she knows, you know, they just kind of help prompt her.
Yeah.
She'll record it, she'll edit it, and then they put it up, do the description, the headline, the launch post, story post, tell you what to post, when to post it, like kind of like your boss. And it's
Yeah.
Sign
I was
me
like,
up.
I know.
literally that day, email them, book them. I've been with them for 2 years. I can't even fathom a life without them. Like they're absolutely incredible. They were literally last month. They're like, so what's the plan for Black Friday? And I was like,
I don't know.
yeah, that's a thing. That's coming up. Like, we think we should do this. And like this morning they sent me like an update on all my accounts and like how things have grown, how much money I made from this and this. And I was like, whoa, this is cool. Like, nice. I don't even know that's happening. Like, so they run my education Instagram account. They do all the posts, they do all the features, all that stuff. They help with all my like shop sales. Like it's all for the shop, really. It's all for the education side of my business, like the presets, education. They do my Pinterest. Now we're doing Pinterest ads. I have regular ads. They're doing all of it. I just don't want anything to do with any of it. I just approve every once in a while, but most of the time I'm like, I don't care. You guys,
Yeah.
you get it. And then I also have someone who does my blogging. I stopped for the summer because I was like, I kind of want to start blogging. I can do it myself. I fired her or let her go in May, and I haven't blogged. So I was like, I need to hire you again because I clearly can't do this. So she
It's
started
a
up again
lot.
this month.
That's a lot. If you think about like doing all of that by yourself is an insane amount of work for one person.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
A
And then
lot.
I also hired an editing team this year too because I needed help. I hired Honest Editors. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah, yeah.
They're incredible. Like actually insanely incredible. I've never had any like no like feedback. I'm always like, you guys are perfect. I don't
Yeah.
understand how you do this. So every time before I'm like, oh, I gotta re-edit these for like 3 hours. Like I just
Yeah.
spent $300 and I have to redo all of it. And I always had that issue. And then it's done. Like I'm just like flying through it.
I think I did their like trial or something. You had like a certain amount of free photos in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I was like going back and forth if I wanted to do that, and it was
Was it good?
really good. Yeah, I didn't touch anything after, so
I'm such a control freak. Like I have like really, really, really bad anxiety, and it manifests as like this need for like intense control over literally everything. Like if there's something that I feel like I can control, I'm gonna control it because that's something that I can control in my
Yeah.
like anxious mind. And so I hired a VA this year, but I literally like I love her, and I specifically hired her because she is rough around the edges like me. Like we're very similar. She's a past client, so like we have a relationship,
She
and
knows. Yeah.
yeah, and I've paid her all year long just to keep my inbox empty. Like I haven't delegated anything else to her because I can't let go. So you
That's so good.
talking
That's a big deal though. I
It
have
is.
that I need to clean out today. I'm like, I'm scared. I'm like
Yes.
terrified.
So she doesn't answer anything because I haven't given her permission to do that, but she like just cleans it out for me every month. And she's a first time mom. Her baby just turned 1, so she's like, I just want something to like, and I had planned to like I set her up with like all of my passwords so that she could do all of my blogging, and then I told her no. And then I was like, I'll do it. And then I didn't do it.
Okay. But with that, I'm not trying to like do like a sales pitch or anything.
No,
My
tell
friend
me.
Danielle, who does my blogging, she actually sells like blogging templates,
Oh, nice.
and they're so cheap. I think they're like under $30 per template, and she's like a national park elopement one, like how to like whatever. And so like it'll say like, or it's like a venue one too. They're like the same one, I think. And so she'll say like, this is where I want you to write this. This is what you're going to write here.
That's what
and
I
then these
need.
are where you're going to
Yeah.
put photos, and this is what you're going to write here. It's literally like a drag and drop template where you just add in some bits of words, not a big deal, but she'll like prompt you. And so you could give that to your girl and be like, I just need you to follow this entire outline because it works and like it's done. I just need you to like pop in the stuff, and then you can even pick the
Right.
photos and it would be done. And
like that.
I'm supposed to be doing that too. My VA, I kind of have a VA. She's like one of my neighbors. She's awesome. She helps me with some stuff, like works on like location guides in the background for me. But I'm supposed to have her be doing that for me right now. But she has a 3-month-old baby and she's also very busy. So I get it.
Yeah.
But
That's a
yeah,
good
that's
idea.
the plan.
That is
a really
very
good
smart.
idea. Can you send us the link for
Yeah.
that?
Yes, I will gladly send you the link for that.
Thank
It's
you.
such a cool system. She's got so many kinds, like gallery ones, like resourceful ones, like how to elope in a national park or top reasons to elope at Olympic National Park. And then you would like, that's what you would do with it. And like, that's what you would fill in. And it's so cool.
That's
That's
because yeah, sometimes like I can like write about my clients, but I like need somebody to just take so much brain. The rest of it's too much brain power that I just don't seem to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you could just like voice memo her and be like, this is what I want you to say. Like, just put that into 300 words.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah, because for me, no, that's so
This
good
is-
because for me, it's like, oh, I'm gonna type all this out to you anyway. I can just do it, but then I don't do it. But
Oh,
the
no.
voice memo thing is so smart.
Yeah.
Voice memo or like Marco Polo, because then she can
Yeah.
play it and pause it a bunch. That app is like the best. Have you guys ever used the Marco Polo
No,
app?
and you're the second person
I
that
know.
sent this to us, and we are in the Marco Polo dark.
I was just gonna say
So good. It's so good because you can literally just like put your phone down and like click and record. You don't have to have it like facing you, and you
yeah.
can just start talking. And you can even do it where like you write a text on it. And I used to do that. I'd put like a text box and like write like so and so's blog post, and I would just start recording. And then the person who's gonna like listen to that, they can pause, fast forward, watch it 100 times over. It's not like the ones on our phone where like if you slightly move your phone, it just stops and you have to
Yeah.
re-listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
So nice. If you don't click keep, it's gone. Like it's so nice. 'Cause it just stays in the app all the time.
All right. So we're
Nice.
downloading that.
Yep, we're gonna. Yeah, yep. I like it.
I know that's funny that what's wrong with us?
I
That we
don't
don't
know.
use that or know
No.
about it. It's the second person that's brought it up and we're like
Yes.
Okay.
So many easy tools that
Right.
we just, I don't know, making our life harder over here.
Yeah, but I bet you guys have a bunch of easy tools that we don't know about. You know what I mean? Like we've all got our
Yeah.
things that
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is true. Yeah.
This is very true. Oh
Love
my
that.
goodness. Okay, so we're gonna segue this into pricing. So we've been talking about this so much, and yeah,
Just valuing. Is that a word?
valuing
Yourself.
valuing yourself, and obviously you have to be priced correctly to be able to even outsource the things that you need to outsource. Like you have to like,
Yeah.
and I don't know. So this has been like a really big topic for us
Mhm.
lately because Frankie and I both realized this year that we are just not priced well.
We weren't.
We weren't. We
Now
are
we
now.
Good. Yeah, congrats.
Like I think we just automatically assumed that like we were priced competitively with like other people in our area, and then
Yeah.
because I don't know, nobody really talks
Don't worry
about it.
about
And then we looked and we were like, oh, people are charging like double what we were like, what's
Yeah,
wrong with
yeah.
us? Like we're sleeping over here. And I don't know. So okay, what's the question though?
Yeah.
Do you have any advice? How did you learn like where to put yourself in a price bracket?
There we
like
go. That's the question.
where because like as a mother, you do have to like value your time more. It's more
Yes.
precious and like obviously you need to be experienced and stuff. You can't just like come into the business and like
100%.
whatever. But like how do you know
yeah, just turn
when
into
to
$10,000 a wedding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
How
I
do you-
mean, so I've been full time for 8 years. So it's been for a while now, even
Yeah.
like with my husband working and stuff. But I've noticed that I felt the most confident and proud of my pricing and like secure with my pricing when I stopped comparing to other people at all. Especially like I can't even say like my area because I shoot all over the Pacific Northwest. And
Right.
I'm not going to compare myself to like Seattle photographers who also have to charge taxes and all these things that we don't have to do in
Right.
Oregon. So like I can't even compare. I just know what I do for my clients, how far and above I go for them with like my location guides, my planning guides, their timelines, all the stuff, and like the pre-work that I do, the work I do with them on their wedding, and then the after stuff, obviously. Like I know how far above and beyond I go for them. And so I know that I have to charge for that because when I don't charge enough for it, then I feel used and burnt out and exhausted because I'm like, I just did all this work for the smallest paycheck, which is so unfair to me. And so I've been very aware of that. I'm very aware of like how much I need to book every month to keep things afloat here. But also I've put so much focus into my education business. Like, so for me, like I have like 3 pillars, I guess, to my business. I photograph high school seniors, I photograph elopements, micro weddings, couples portraits, like that kind of vibe. And then I have my education. And so it's hard to focus on all 3. I feel like the team does most of the education for me. I kind of like pop in when I need to with that. Especially when like new stuff dropping, but they do so much like the behind the scenes, which is why I need them because I can't do all of it. But I noticed that like for me, my income definitely like chunks into each of them, and my education is definitely like 70% of my income. So that's why I feel so fine like about paying like my team to help me because
Yeah.
they are expensive, but I always am able to pay them every single month and I'm still able to profit a significant amount too. And so like focusing on like my presets and my guides, my templates, my Basecamp courses, like all of that has been an insane life changer. I actually almost canceled Basecamp after 3 months of having it because I was like, I can't handle this. It's too much work. I told the team that and they're like, can we take it over and like give us 1 year?
Yeah.
I cannot believe how much Basecamp has supported my family. Like
That's amazing.
it's absolutely insane. And even just this jump from the summer, like doubled. And so I thought I was already proud of it back in like May and we've doubled since then. And I'm like
Awesome.
insanely just shocked because going into the winter seasons where it slows down, I'm like, okay, I need to make sure that the bookings stay up because I'm not shooting as much. So if the bookings don't stay up, then like we're definitely going to pull into our savings a little bit. And I don't need to worry about that now because of Basecamp. And like that covers our bills and more, which is honestly so amazing. And like I've worked so hard to get it to that point and I want to keep going with it, you know?
Yep.
But also focusing on high school seniors and elopements. And it's just so wild to like be able to focus on other things so that like that can kind of keep us going. And then the other stuff is like where I can focus on our savings and like I want to buy an Airbnb soon. And like, you know, like I want to do other things. And it's like I know I had to like keep focusing on like the bigger picture with that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That was going to be another question was Basecamp because you've built like this like amazing community with it and it's grow like growing. So you
Growing.
just said it doubled from like over the summer, and
Literally.
I don't remember when the post I saw was. I don't know because time is weird and it's all blended together.
You're right.
But like the one that I had read recently was that it had over like 100 people that were like enrolled. And
Yeah.
like, how did you even decide to make the jump to like an education platform? Like, how did that happen?
I just felt like that's something that I would have wanted. You know what I mean? Like, I think when I started doing photography, there were some companies that were like doing like template ones like that, like kind of like almost like a Patreon where they would sell like a new template every month. Like it was like a new, like you get like a cheapy contract or a cheapy like questionnaire. And I was like $7 a month and you got these things. And I always thought that like model was really cool. And then I saw other people doing like these like subscription education courses and I was like, this is so cool. Like I feel like that'd be so fun. But all of them that do it are primarily just a wedding photographer, not even elopements and adventure weddings, and not seniors, not families, not newborn, none of that. And I was like, there's something I feel like missing for that. And so I was like, I want to like do base camp, but do it differently. Like I actually really want my personal trainer. I used to have a personal trainer like when I was like had time to work out, but I had her for a while to help me like learn how to do all that and like learn how to weight lift, all these things. I was like, I want her to do like a nutrition's course on like how to properly fuel yourself to work. Like things that people don't talk about that actually do benefit your business. Like I had a finance girl come in and talk about how to save money and how to do that correctly. And like SEO courses, like not just like how to storytell photography, how to send contracts correctly, like how to do workflow. Like that is all really important, but there's so much other important things that make us so successful or make us like be able to stand out for our clients or help our clients better, make more money. And like people just don't talk about those things. I feel like it's always like the same shit, like how to pose your client, how do you book workflow, and I don't know. I don't even know.
Yeah, but there's so much more that goes into a business
So much.
that
and all of that is the stuff that that like nobody talks about and we
Yeah.
just are all silently struggling with on our own trying to figure it
100%.
out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like
That
even
is
like
awesome.
how to take a client call. Like a lot of people don't know how to like properly take a client call. Like
Oh, I
a
would
lot
need
of
that because I'm not talking on the phone. So like I would like, hi, how,
Look at her,
like
she's
how do I what do I do? Because I don't talk on the phone.
Well, okay. What's crazy is like I know how to be extroverted. Like I know how to do it. It's something to do. I'm super introverted, like to my core, super introverted. Like I need all the recharge time. Walking up to like my computer to be doing Zoom calls back and forth, like podcasts or with client calls or something like that, is literally going to make me sweat all day. Like that's why I'm in like a thin little cardigan. So like it is hard. And like I literally have post-it notes like on the wall behind my computer that's like, ask your clients about this, talk to them about this, listen to them about this. Like yes, I have been doing this a very long time, but I still need help with that. And like people assume that I feel like when you have made it further in the business, that you are successful, that you full time, that you just got it. You don't need help. You don't need education anymore. And I'm like, no, we all still need it. Like whether you are just starting or you've been in the business forever. And I wanted Basecamp to be for everybody. I wanted it to be for the people who still needed help and like were scared to say that they needed help. And I'm like, you can just quietly join Basecamp. I won't even know because I don't check to see who joins it unless you join the Facebook group. I wouldn't want to know that stuff. Like, I'm like, just hop in. If you want to say hi, great. But if you just want to like silently just watch the things and like learn from it, like that's great too. Like, I think some people are like ashamed of having to learn too. And I think that that's hard. So like when it's something super affordable like that, then like it's literally $39 a month. It's not bad at all. It's like you can go in, learn all these things, watch all the past courses, watch interviews about like me talking to another photographer that's like has grown in the business or has a very different business model or whatever. Like it's so fun to learn from other people. I don't know. I love it. It's so fun.
That is really cool.
No,
we should put a post-it board over here so that when we have brain farts, we just have an idea.
You should. It would help you guys.
That's so funny.
You guys are like reading.
I know. No, I'm glad you brought that up though, because I think that is like a huge assumption. Like, especially once you have like a huge following or whatever, people just assume you got it down 24/7, and it's
that you're fully booked. You know everything. You don't need any help. Like, no, like no.
And some people have like, you could have a very successful business, but like you might have a hard year still, and that's normal. Like, and it's definitely something that people are not talking about.
Oh yeah, this is my slowest elopement booking year, hands down.
That is
like,
so good to hear.
down.
Like, I'm sorry, that sucks. But
right.
it's this year has been so weird, and I feel like I don't know, I just feel like people are not talking about it and they're
No,
acting
people
like
are taking it
everything is
really
okay.
personally.
Mhm.
And it's
Yeah.
bad. Same with education. I've talked to so many of the educators, and like, this is the slowest year for education, hands down. Like, we used to be able to post about a workshop and it would sell out in minutes, and now it
Yeah.
takes like weeks to sell out. And that's not like an us thing. It's an income thing that everyone's dealing with. It's like,
Yeah.
it's so hard because you want to take it personally. You're like, oh, they don't want to learn from me anymore. Like, I'm not good enough for them anymore. Whatever, all these thoughts.
Right.
Like, you creep in, and then you talk to other educators or other photographers, and they're like, oh no, I literally haven't booked a wedding in 2 months. I haven't gotten an inquiry in 1 month. I haven't, it's weird.
Yeah.
Like, you can be as consistent as you want on social media, and it still might be crickets. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's so hard. Like,
Eh.
I think a lot of people are really struggling with their, I don't know, mindset on if they can keep doing this or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's something that we've been trying to talk about more because for both of us, it's been like
It's
a
been a
really
weird year.
slow year, and it definitely like mentally it kind of takes a toll on you because you're like, what am I doing wrong all of a sudden? Or everyone else looks like they're doing great, that they're, because social media too, everyone makes it look like,
So bad.
yeah, so you
I
start
have
to
to
get
like
in your
remind
head.
myself of like, they also have skeletons in their closet. Like, they got shit going on too. 'Cause,
Right.
like, you'll see them post like all these epic things, all this and this and that, and I'm like, so their life is perfect. My life sucks. I'm the worst educator. I'm the worst photographer. Like, it's so easy just to go down that rabbit hole. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
it's so hard.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're talking about it because
Yeah.
we're trying to talk about it more too. So
I've
No, it's good.
started muting people. Like,
Oh,
when
yeah,
it's, like
100%.
super down my throat. I'm like, okay, you gotta go.
yeah.
It's so hard. And whenever I see people post like 2 more bookings almost done, like, or until I'm done with full next year, I'm like, I have to remind myself, like, that's just, you're creating FOMO. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
you don't actually, I mean, if you do, congrats, like, fuck
Right.
yeah. But like, my brain has to tell myself that you're just creating FOMO, and you're doing this as a smart marketing business mindset.
Right.
You're only doing it for you and your clients, and you're not doing it to make other photographers hate
Yes.
you.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It's hard to remind yourself that sometimes,
It
though.
is.
But
Especially when you like see it from like 17 different people in a
Yep.
row. Like, it's hard.
But no, I think we talked about that recently too. How people are like posting like how they're almost booked for the year or whatever. We're like, no, you're not.
Nope.
Nope.
Don't fool us.
I have to do that with like the girls I coach too, because I'm like, they'll say like, oh, well, this photographer, like, I'm competing, my competition is this and this. I'm like, okay, but how many bookings are they taking? Is it 1 per month, 2 per
Right.
month? Did they charge way less because they wanted it? Or
Right.
what we don't know any of the other circumstances. Like, they
Yep.
could just say they're fully booked from September to October. Like, we don't know that they're fully booked for the full year or just like the hot months, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we don't know any of that. So it's like, just let it out of your head. Let's get you fully booked to what you want. Like,
Right.
it's so hard.
Yeah.
I closed my calendar this year because I don't shoot weddings. I only do families and newborns.
Cool. Yeah.
So I closed my calendar in the beginning of July because it was, because I found out in March that we were pregnant.
Right.
So that was gonna like take up a bunch of my fall.
Mm-hmm.
So I like closed my fall, or like blocked my fall off already, and
Yeah.
then I closed my calendar for the year in the summer, because I didn't want to. It was like getting too close to the point where like I don't want to feel like I'm taking these last minute things when I might want to be doing like to-do list stuff or like prepping or like whatever. And I remember when I had like shared that I'm very like, I put like a disclaimer, like I am only closing my calendar, like my calendar is closing because I'm pregnant and I'm like,
Yeah.
due in the fall. Like, please do not take this as like I'm so slammed and like,
Yep.
I felt like this need that I had to tell everybody that like I'm only
Right.
doing this because a baby is coming. Like, please don't take this and be upset
I love
about
that
it.
you did that though, because you could have posted it and made yourself look like so badass and like, I'm closing my
Yeah.
calendar because I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, but you
Uh-huh.
did it. You're like, I want to be so down to earth about this and make sure everyone knows that like,
I want
I
people to
just
feel
want to
bad.
be
Yeah.
giant and pregnant at the pumpkin patch with my kids. Like,
Yes,
that's what I wanna be
basically,
doing.
pretty much. My last sessions are this week, and then I'm done for
Yeah.
the
And
rest
then
of
you
the
get to
year.
literally eat hot apple cider donuts and hang
Yep.
out with like smash pumpkins and just
Exactly.
chill. Yeah.
Sounds so good.
I'm
I know, I'm
excited
so
about
jealous.
it. Oh, I'm excited about it. Okay, this one. Do you feel like you have like, because you said that you have friends that are parents, but they're
Mhm.
also not entrepreneurs. Do you feel like you have a community of like entrepreneur friends that are also moms that like get it with
Yes.
you?
Yeah, I do. A couple of my
Awesome.
photographer friends are also moms. I don't but they don't have a partner to like really, really, really help. And so
Okay.
whereas like I have soul help, you know what I mean? So
Right.
it's hard with that because I feel like I have a little bit more freedom with like my schedule and like my style of work. Like I can walk into my office every day at 8 and work till I want to because I'm allowed to do that because that's what we need. Whereas I don't think they have that. They have to find sitters to like help them work because their partner works. And so it's just a little different with that because I feel like I can work a little bit harder than them because I have more time to.
For sure.
But it's also required of me while their partners are also working. So like I don't know, it's like they're the stay-at-home mom, but also mom entrepreneur photographer, you know, or social media person or something. And so it's hard with that because I feel like it's just a little different. And I don't know. I mean, definitely have like my mom entrepreneur friends who I can like vent to and talk to and like all of that. But it's different because I think they all wish that their partner was a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
But I totally get it.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It would be so nice.
It's
I don't
hard.
think my husband could hack it though.
Mine couldn't for sure.
It's,
No.
it's not for the faint of heart though. Like he struggles a lot with it too. And
Yeah.
I have to ask him, like, there's been like 3 times this summer I had to like sit him down and like, do you want to keep doing this? Like, are you happy at all doing this? And he's like,
Yeah.
well, I am. There's a lot of hard days. And he's like,
Yeah.
I have to remember that those hard days are normal and that they get past them. And like the nights I don't get to sleep, like it's okay. And like, it's really hard. So like even nights where like if I have to leave early the next day, I'm like, I can't do any of the bottles in the middle of the night. I can't do any of the rocking. I can't do any of that. Like you still, even though I'm home, I don't get to help tonight. I need to sleep.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like I know that he really struggles with like a lot of the up and downs and like the hard emotional 2.5-year-old days where they don't want to eat anything. They don't want to listen. Everything is yes, no. Like it's so hard. And so I think he really struggles with it. But at the end of the day, he's like, I don't want anyone else raising our kids.
Yeah.
I
So
love that.
like gotta do it, you know.
Yeah, that's so cool that you guys can do that.
It is.
Yeah.
I love that
It's
so
scary.
much.
There's some days where I'm like, I like need to work because I'm scared of the winter seasons and not making enough. So like I don't want to just get by. Like I always want to be able to like have more for us. And like I lived like a very lucky lifestyle. My dad had a really great job. My mom was able to be at home with us and we got to do a lot of traveling, a lot of fun stuff. And my husband did not get that lifestyle. Very, very, very opposite. And so I feel like I just want to like make sure that like our kids get like obviously like the most love and like attention from us, but also like I want them to have like the ability to dance and do gymnastics and to just like I love thrifting and I get all their cute little costumes thrifting, but like I want to be able to go to the mall and like buy him a brand new Buzz costume and like feel okay about that, you know? Like it's really like something I really like strive for them and like want that for them.
And they're gonna appreciate it so much and like look up to you for working so hard and
I hope so.
Creating what you've created too.
Yeah.
It's hard. They literally get to watch it.
Yeah.
And that's
it's so hard though because Revan's learned Miss right now, and so he goes, Miss Mama work, Mama work, no Mama work. I'm like, no,
heartbreaking.
Stop. Like, don't do that. It's so hard. I'm like, I'm just going to office. I'll be home, but Mama's gonna work. And he's like, home, Mama work, and then he gets sad. He goes sad. He'll sit down like crouch on his legs. I'm like, no.
That's what Axel just started. He's been good about it lately, but he just recently started like if I'm going to a wedding or even just a shoot, he'll be like, you have to work. I'm like, yeah, but I'll be back by this time, or like I'm not gonna be gone longer. I'll be home before bed or right after bed.
Yeah.
He's like, I really don't want you to go to work, Mama. And I'm like, okay, fine. I cancel everything.
Makes me tear up, 'cause, like,
I
know how hard that is, but like also
is.
it's weird though because when you get home, it's like no time has passed and they don't even
Right.
like it's not even a big deal. Like when I leave for a trip, I'm like, sobbing the whole time, FaceTiming them, and I come home and they're like, "Oh, Mama's home. Let's go play." I'm like, I've been gone 4 days and that's all I get. Like,
yeah, it's not affecting them at all.
No.
Like,
like it is, but it isn't. Like I think it's okay too to like miss your parents and like be excited to have them back and like have specific very quality time.
Yeah.
Whereas like I think a lot of parents are lucky to be with their kids all the time. So like it's weird to be even gone from them. Like there's so many like back and forth with that.
Yeah. Yep. It worked. Everyone has a different balance. That's not the word I want.
I don't even
Whatever.
know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All of it.
I was gonna ask you, do you have any advice for whether you're established or not in the creative industry? Any advice for new moms who are in this?
Okay, I feel like I have a couple of things. So like if you're at the point where like you are doing this and you like need to make money doing this, I would just set yourself a goal every month of like what you need to make and cap yourself at that or like slightly over. Like if you only need to make $1,500 a month doing this, like be okay with that. Like that is 100% okay, that you only need to make $1,500 that month, every single month, whatever. And like work yourself towards making that happen every month. Maybe some months you make over and that covers your next month, but that will help you not burn out, because like then you're not overworking every time to get, because you don't know what you need every month. Like if you
Mhm.
have an amount that you know that you need to do to help, and you can work hard towards that, feel good about that, be proud of yourself for that, and then
Yeah.
like let it go and just be with your kids after that. Like not try to overwork yourself to like hit a different goal, unless you want to like change the goal, that's different. But like
Mhm.
I think that that's been like a huge one that I noticed for myself and other friends who are like, I just feel like I have to keep working. I'm like, well, how much do you need to make? Like,
Yeah.
when are you happy? Like, when does it feel okay? Like, when are you
Yeah.
proud of yourself? And like, that's like a big one. Like, we're not doing this just to make money. Like, you should also be doing it as an artist or
Mhm.
to feel fulfilled in certain ways, and like not just like monetary, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's,
So
I
I
think
think that's
that's
like the
really good
biggest one for
advice.
me, I think.
Yeah. I like that.
I like that a lot too. I we talked about this the other week too, but I changed my like the way I book my families 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't remember. But I started releasing my schedule like or my calendar at the beginning of the year, and I only have them book the month that they want. So they pay their retainer, they sign their contract, they book their month. They don't pick their date until the first of the month before.
Ooh,
That
cool.
way I can like prioritize scheduling like what's going on with my family.
Sports and kids and things.
Exactly. And but that way I also like it makes me spread my like how many sessions I want to shoot that year, how much I want to work each month. It forces me to schedule it or spread
Yeah.
it out throughout the
Yeah.
year. And then if they see, okay, October's booked already, that you have to pick a different month. So
Yeah.
it like helps, I don't know, balance the
You
load.
can't be like, oh, I can get you in.
Exactly.
I'm the worst. I had like 2 days off this week.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Because I'm so bad. Like someone's like, I'm coming to Oregon. I'd love to have you take our photos. I'm like, awesome, sick. Like I'd love to work with you. I'm like,
Mhm.
here's my session price. Like done. I'm like, okay. Like
Sure.
there goes extra money for us this month. And I'm like, that was my night off with the boys.
Right.
I'm like, okay, well now I know that morning I'm not going to work because I need to like make up that time that I want to be with them, because
Yeah.
then I'm getting less work time and I'm adding more work to my schedule. It's a cycle.
It is so hard when somebody
Yeah.
pops up like that and is just like buttering your freaking biscuit and is like, yes, I will pay. Do I need to
Uh-huh.
pay extra if we can do this? And you're like,
Literally, what? Like
I'm
I
supposed to
just got
say
an
no?
inquiry- I just got an inquiry for some couple who wants photos with their dog, which I get it, I love it, in North Carolina, and they are willing to pay whatever it takes to get me out there to shoot that in like a month. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I told myself I could not travel anymore, but I'm like, yeah, let's get on a call. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
And we talk about that too, being like
Yeah.
it's got to be something in this industry with us all being like people pleasers that like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
the moment, especially if it seems like a really cool opportunity or like someone really cool to work with, you're like,
So
yep,
fun.
let's do it.
Yep.
I guarantee if I book this and I go, I'm going to literally cry the whole way there and back. I'm like, why did I do this? This wasn't
Uh-huh.
weird. I want to be home. Yeah, it's
Yep.
bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, why do we do it to ourselves?
I don't know why we are this way, but we are.
It's so bad. I feel like also too, when it's like one of those years like right now where we like are making maybe less money because we're getting
Mhm.
less increase. You just say yes to anything that comes
Yeah.
because you're like stressed, and like
Mhm.
we take it on, and then we end up working with people that might not be as aligned with like personalities or styles, and it's
Yeah.
very, very hard. And like we just need to like, I've realized too, like the days that I have like finally like given myself the courage to be like, no, I cannot do that. It's okay that I don't do that. Something amazing else has happened. Like
Yeah.
another amazing opportunity has come up from the time that I was supposed to be doing said thing that I didn't even want to do, but I just wanted the paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of your famous quote.
So, so we hosted a retreat this year, just like a mom's getaway like weekend with 8 other mom photographers, and we did we planned a couple content days so they had like something fun to bring back from it, and then we also did like a small storytelling class to get them like we're in Detroit, we're in Michigan, and there is a heavy like the shift that we're seeing everywhere else with more documentary stuff is like I feel like our like immediate area is a little bit behind.
Yeah.
And so we're
Okay.
trying to like help shove that along.
Love that.
And yes. So we did this like storytelling class to help them break out of like the curated Pinterest perfection that we see on the internet and plastered everywhere. And they like loved it. They like we were shocked that they loved it because we were thinking it was just gonna be like this fun little perk, and they were
Mhm.
like, Oh my God, tell me more.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Awesome.
But I told them, because they were also like talking about, well, how do you get clients to want to do that? Because my clients just want to smile at the camera. I'm like, what did I even say? Oh, that you can say no to people.
Yeah.
That like every time
Yeah.
you say yes to something that does not fully align with you and your values and your business, you're saying no to something better. You're saying no to your family. You're saying no to all of these things. And you're missing out on so much. And they just
Everyone
like,
was like,
like their
Even
jaws
me, I like
dropped.
it's just even you saying that and me thinking like fully business minded, then you're like, and you're saying no to your family. I was like, ugh, like you're so right. Me
Yeah.
saying yes to an opportunity that I don't even want is saying no to my family. That's
Yep.
so fucked. Like even though I think that I'm providing for them, but it's just
Right.
making all of them happy because I'm gone, or I'm unhappy doing a job and I'm gone from them. So like that, I'm like, whoo, ready to say no today when I have that call.
It's so funny how like even when I don't know, even for me, like when that lives in my brain
Yeah.
and I sometimes can't execute it. And like I need to hear it back. And we had an episode about, I don't even remember what the episode was about. I don't remember, but I texted Frankie when I was listening to the playback and I was like, this is making me so emotional. And she was like, why? Like, because I just like, I needed all of these things reinforced, even though they live in my brain and even though it's my voice that I'm listening to that is saying these things. It's just so, it's hearing it, like actually hearing it is so different, even if the thought lives in your brain.
Yeah.
So you're almost like giving yourself the confidence to like actually like
Exactly.
do it, not just like take it in. Like you're actually like just like not went in through one ear out the other, whatever. Like you're actually like soaking it. And I feel like that's like so important. And it's hard. It's so hard. I feel like I'm
so
telling my people all the time, like the people I coach or I work with, and I'm like, yeah, you don't need to say yes to that. You're good. You don't like that's not aligned with you. And then I go and freaking book.
Say no today, Dawn. Say no.
You know, actually, someone else and I were talking about that the other day or yesterday. I was like posting that I was, photographed a micro wedding, whatever. And this photographer was like, she saw the video that I did. She's like, oh my God, like I love that they did that pose. And I was like, oh yeah, like whatever they want, I'm down for. It's like their thing, And she was like, that's so funny. I would not have pictured that like you would photograph something like that. And I was like, no, it's always aligning this year. Like lately, I think I just kind of been like working with some more like different energies and stuff like that, which is wonderful. Like it's their day, their photos, their experience. Like I will photograph if they want to spell love in the sky, I'm down. Like fucking go. Like make hearts and bellies. Like I will photograph that shit. But I will also try to encourage my style too, because it's why they hired me.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh my God, same. I've had like 40% of my couples this year have been like the Pinterest couples again. She's like, that I went away from that and now I'm coming back to it. And she's like, how do I get back over it? And she's like, I think I've been saying yes to the wrong people, or saying yes to the wrong people. And I was like, literally same. Like what happened?
I know.
We've all lost our minds this year.
I know.
It's hard. It's such a personal business too. So it's tough.
Yeah. I was just going to ask if there's anything else that like any advice or any words of wisdom you have for anyone that you wanted to share that we haven't already covered, because I feel like you've given us so much.
I don't know.
If you don't,
I think
that's
there's
okay.
something that like you telling us like that quote and like kind of like remembering like why we do this, who we're supporting with this, like why we're like, all these things. But I feel like I don't know if I remember it specifically like well enough to say the quote. I'm like trying to think of how it went. It was something along the lines of like when we photograph other people's memories, we're also like skipping out on our own kind of a thing. And so like for every opportunity that we say yes that we're not aligned to, we're missing out on a memory that we could have made with our families. Like, I think it was something like maybe like stop photographing other people's memories so much when you're like missing out on your own or something like that. It was for photographers. And I was like, whoa, like you're so right. Because like this Saturday, all my friends are going to pumpkin patch and I have a wedding. I'm like, you fuckers, let's go Sunday. And they're like, we can't. I'm like, bye, like have fun.
I know, it's so hard.
So bummed because I want to go like so bad. Like that's like my energy the whole day is gonna be like, I want to be at the pumpkin patch. Like
I know.
So now I'm like, no more Saturday weddings, because that's what my friends do fun stuff. Like I can't miss out anymore. Like no more Saturday weddings. Like I'm done. Like
it's so funny too how like I don't know, our boundaries are like ever evolving. Because like I don't know, 2 years ago you're okay with missing a Saturday, like not a big deal. Saturdays are great, and now like I don't know. So I think it's okay to constantly reevaluate that and change, and we don't have to explain it to anybody.
Nope.
It says what
and
it
if
is.
someone's asking you to explain it, bye. Like it's so hard.
Yeah, it is really
no,
hard.
I think it's just like writing down, like I don't know if you're like one of those like journal people and like you need to write your intentions down every month to kind of like reevaluate like how you have like your new calendar every month. Like that's so genius. Or for me, it's like a to-do list that I know that I need to get done. I have all my spreadsheets, like all that stuff really helps me stay aligned of like what needs to get done, how I can get it done when it's due, and like how I can make the due dates happen with also spending time with my family, like just kind of finding a balance. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
hard.
So hard.
What is balance?
What is balance? Literally.
It's so different for everyone. It's not even a thing. More and more we
No.
talk about it.
No.
A casual, chaotic, unbalanced lifestyle.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, I just think it's like
goodness.
so fun that you guys are doing this podcast and like having these like really honest conversations, because I think a lot of people put mom entrepreneurs who are, you know, successful, quote, quote, you know, but look successful, whatever. And they see them and they're like, oh, like they haven't made, my life sucks, like all this stuff. And it's like, no, like everyone's got their shit. Everyone's like struggling. Everyone's like having their issues, and like they only post the highlight reel. And like, I
Yeah.
think a lot of people just need to like take that step back and remember that like everyone's having a hard time. Everyone's also
Yeah.
having hopefully a great time too. But like
Right.
there's moments, and so like we all just need to like kind of like think about what we need to do for ourselves and not try to compare it to somebody else in that sense.
Yeah. And then it's okay to talk about it.
Yes.
To talk about
Talk
it.
about
Talk about it.
Yes. Talk about the hard stuff. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Because then other people are like, oh, us too. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then
Right. You feel way less alone.
Yes.
especially with someone in your industry. I could talk
Yeah.
to my husband all day about this, and he's just like, you know,
I know
my
there's
best
only
friend- yeah,
there's
don't
only
run
so
the
much
crisis.
that they can
Yep.
say or
Exactly.
Yeah.
Find somebody in your realm that you can vent to.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Gosh,
you.
no, thank you.
We're just blown away that you even said yes to us to talk to
Literally.
us.
Literally.
So funny.
We talked about it, and then we sent it. I think we messaged you on Instagram. We sent
Yeah.
it, and I was like, totally felt like it was like, oh, we're just like shooting for the stars
Right.
here. Like it would be so awesome if she was on. And then I was like, she's probably not even going to see this. And then you messaged us back, and I like screenshot it to Frankie, even though she can see it because it's the same account. But I was
Yeah.
like literally shitting my pants, and she was like, oh my God.
You guys are so funny. Just think of me as someone who has like 5,000 followers. Like literally, that's it. I'm solid at that. Like, don't look at me as someone who has like too many followers. I don't respond to fucking messages. I respond to every single message except for when I do a model call. I get a little overwhelmed. I can't.
Oh,
Well,
respond.
yeah.
no.
But when people just want to talk, I'm here for it. I love it, especially podcasts. I'm always just down for like a podcast like this where we just get to sit and hang out in our jammies
Yeah.
and just talk.
Yeah.
Whenever they're like pumping questions at me, I'm like, this is not a mentorship. This is not. Like,
Yeah, that's why like we have like our questions, but like we don't want to be like pumping
Yeah,
questions
I
at you
don't,
the
I don't
whole
want it.
time.
We don't ever
That's-
want it to feel formal.
No.
Just like a chill, like
Yeah.
we just want to bring like a voice to something. Yeah, the stuff that's like not talked about,
Yeah.
so that other people are like, oh, this is not like I'm in my own. I'm living in my own doomsday, and I don't need to be
Yeah.
because
We just want to build this community.
Yeah.
More.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like you even notice that when you're like with your best friends and you're maybe talking about something, you're having like a relationship problem, like with your partner or like even like a sibling or something like that. And like, you're like, wait, you guys deal with issues like this? And then you're
Right.
like, that's not crazy. I'm not crazy. Like you know, and
Yeah.
it makes you feel so much better about even just like your relationship, that it's not like The Notebook or a movie. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
taught to compare ourselves to these movies when we're growing up and all these books and stuff. And so it's like to live a lifestyle where you have to like work hard every day in a marriage, you know, it's so different. And so like
Mhm.
same with our businesses. Like people just don't talk about the hard stuff. It's just
Yeah.
not talked about
No.
enough.
Well,
It's
we're here to
not.
talk about it.
every
Yes.
day.
Thanks,
I
guys.
love
You guys
it.
are awesome.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, guys, thanks for listening again. Don't forget to rate us, subscribe, like, whatever, all that good stuff. And we'll see you again next week. All right, bye.